There it is. It's March 15th, people. It's the week of March 15th, 2021. My name is Taylor Cooper. This is Might Be News. With me, as always, co-host Jackie. What's up, Jackie?
What's up?
Oh, Carl Pinnell's in the house tonight. What's up, Carl?
Hello.
We're always sponsored by Eunomia CBD. Go to eunomiacbd.com. Use promo code MBN. Get 20% off, free shipping, and a free gift. We're also sponsored by Linode. Go to linode.com/MBN. Linode is the largest independent open cloud provider in the world, people. They're sponsoring us. It's kind of a big flex. Go to linode.com/MBN. Do it. Get $100 free credit.
Yep.
Do it. Patreon.com/MBN.
Do it.
MBNnetwork.com. It's never been easier for you to find your new favorite podcast. Enough of this shit. I'm excited for this episode because Carl's here. Carl, I haven't seen you
in person
forever. I've seen you on my computer screen. I've seen you.
I've been here, though.
You have been here. I'm trying to remember.
Once.
Yeah, to record once, right?
Mm-hmm.
In this apartment?
Yeah, he has been here.
Once.
As soon as you walked up the stairs, I was like, he's been here before. But I didn't know that.
Well, that's why I knew to not park down there where the GPS told me.
And I was wondering about that earlier. Like, I was like, shit, I didn't tell him to, because people get confused where we are. But Carl Pinnell, I'm really glad you're on the show.
I'm glad to be here, buddy.
Show, man. It's good to have you here. It's good to have a guest. We had Mr. Steve on a couple weeks ago, and it was a lot of fun. And it's just like, we've been talking about it for the past couple weeks, where it's just like, enough.
Yes.
I want to slowly start opening this up. People are getting shots slowly. I'm happy that it looks like they're trying to get more teachers shots faster so they can open the schools up and stuff. And I don't know. We're 1B.
Pennsylvania's kind of shit in the bed, right?
Yeah.
That's why I'm getting mine in New Jersey.
Yeah. Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Really?
On Monday.
Huh? Really? Good for you. My mom got first part.
I work in New Jersey.
Okay.
So my boss knows somebody, just started throwing our names in there, and our appointments just started popping up in our email.
Right. Yeah, I don't
know what's going on here in PA, but
I guess we need to register for something. We need to look it up.
I've registered twice.
Is that what you did? And you still haven't gotten around to it?
PA's just sending emails full of excuses. That's all.
Well, let's do some good news.
Yeah, man.
Hear the news?
This better be good.
You want the good news or the bad news?
Give me the good stuff.
All right, this week for some good news. I only got one thing. It's a local story. I just recently, our friend Dave Good, started a Instagram profile at Live Goods Lunches, and so Dave has a daughter named Olivia. Her mom passed away not long after she was born, after a long battle with cancer. Some time has passed. Olivia, or Liv, is in school, and Dave started drawing awesome and wholesome pictures on her lunch bags. And he started posting them on social media, and people are loving it.
They're really good.
And it's just this.
And they're funny.
Such a simple concept, but he makes statements with them at times. They're super creative, super funny. His daughter's super cute, and she seems to really like it. And now she's they're making videos and stuff together, and it's just a really wholesome thing. And I feel like in such a dark and weird and uncertain time, stuff like that really matters to people. You know what I mean? And it's funny because Jackie, on our way to work, in this time space continuum, you said that I needed to reach out to him because we have had Dave on the show before.
Yes.
I don't remember, though. It was for a Game of Thrones special. And I don't remember, was that exclusive to Patreon or was that like a everybody thing?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't remember. Anyway, Dave Good, shout out to him. The shit is fantastic. The follow, make sure you go on Instagram, follow at Live Goods Lunches. That's L-I-V, not L-I-V-E.
Yeah.
L-I-V Goods Lunches. Go check it out. You talked to me about talking to him. Another friend of ours, Courtney, mentioned it on Facebook, trying to get together with him too. And I reached out to him, and I'm trying to get him on the show. He's definitely down to be on the show too. So I'm really excited about it. Hopefully in the next week or two, I get Dave Good on the show.
He just wrote a whole song to Boys to Men, I'll Make Love to You. And it was called I'll Make Lunch for You.
Yes.
And it's so good.
It's so
He even
good.
used props in the video.
Yes, he did. Shout out Dave Good, man. Shout out Dave Good. He's just a generally good dude. It's good shit. So really the only like news story. So make sure you go check us out on YouTube. That's the other thing I forgot in our cool little intro. YouTube, MBN Network. Search for us. Subscribe, please, 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 please. If you haven't done it already, please do it. I've been putting out this yesterday in 5 minutes, Monday through Friday. People really seem to like it. It's a lot of fun to do, but I do a lot of news on there. I do news all week. Mm-hmm. So for these shows, on Might Be News, I'm going to just kind of pick something. We just roll with it. One thing that I saw that was really interesting, we record this show on Friday. Netflix is starting to bust people's asses for sharing passwords. Carl, do you share passwords with anybody?
I haven't for years. Used to, but I haven't for years. I think maybe. No. I changed everything. I went on like a password changing rampage like a year or two ago.
Yeah, and then you just like never let anybody know.
No, yeah. Or if anybody was on them, they weren't anymore.
Has anybody ever like hit you up and being like, "Yo, dude, pay your Netflix bill, bro"?
Yeah, straight up, my buddy. Like back in the day, a buddy of mine that like. Just for a buddy of mine from work, I let him be on my Netflix thing, and then one day I got just pissed off, and I said, you know what? I was at home, and I was just being petty about dumb shit. I was like, I'm fucking cutting him off this shit. So I shut it off, and the next day he was busting my balls about it. I was like, did you change your password? I'm like, bro, we both make $9 an hour. You know, figure it out.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
This was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Dude, we Jackie, you and I had an issue. I've always shared passwords. But then I ran into an issue. We ran into an issue on Netflix. We're trying to watch Netflix, and it kept coming up with a message that too many people are logged into Netflix. Remember?
Yeah. Yep.
We were fucking mad.
Because we're like, what the fuck?
Who's paying for this? I'm paying for
Yeah,
this.
we couldn't watch.
How many do they allow? Or is it devices?
I think it's 3 profiles or something, or maybe more. But
it might be 4 or 5 profiles.
Right, but certain
then
amount of devices.
Depending on your devices, I think.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
they
'cause
were
they
probably, I think you had 2 other people on the profile, right? So they had their login, so they were probably both on, meaning we couldn't get on.
But so you have to share the login. That's what you need to share, your email login.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. So like,
Yeah, nobody has that.
nobody has that.
Not on mine.
No. Okay. Yeah. Us either.
Yes, you do.
But they do.
Yes,
they do.
one
yes.
person.
Well, yeah,
They
like,
do.
I used to.
Yes.
But they don't need a login just yet.
Right. And
Next week.
well, I think I wonder if Netflix will catch them if they use the email login and all that good stuff. Like, so far they're not like turning the service off. They're giving you like a message, basically saying like you need to get your own account if you aren't living with the person that.
But how do they
owns
figure
this
that
account.
out? Because it's one thing to track IP addresses, but like if I'm away on business and I'm watching
Right.
on my phone on another
Right.
IP address, who's to say that's not me? Or, you know?
Well,
I
how do
think
they
this
do
is a
that?
scare tactic.
It is. So basically, it says this is according to CNBC. Netflix is running a test cracking down on this. So this is a test. This isn't like there's nothing being enforced right now. Some customers, it says, are getting a message on their screens prompting them to sign up for their own account if they aren't watching with the subscriber. So it's prompting them to do it. What I don't know is if it's like an only option. that prompt, right? Like, I don't know if they're just being like, if they're able to just be like, well, no, I don't want to do this, and go back and do what they were going to do in the first place. Maybe in the future, they'll do that though, and that's kind of what they're. See, nobody knows with this because Netflix notoriously hasn't given a shit. And that's even what this article says, is like they've never cared before, where other platforms are kind of more cautious about it. Netflix never took it to that level. And I think personally, the reason why this is happening now is, first of all, there's so many streaming platforms, but also all these different streaming platforms are doing original stuff, like original movies,
now
original shows. They need the money also to get the awards. Like, nobody's going to do this if Netflix, basically if their numbers are diminished because people are sharing the passwords, nobody knows what those real ratings are, right? Like, you can tell how many times something has been watched, but you can't really tell how
You're
many
welcome,
people
John
saw
Mulaney.
Right.
I just keep watching his stand-ups, all of them.
I keep
Wake
waking
up in the
to
middle
it.
of the night, and I just put on one of the 3 that are on Netflix. They just crack me up.
Dude, he's a trip. He but I wake up in the middle of the night and I just hear something, whatever joke he's telling. He's funny.
I've been wanting to get rid of Netflix. I've been having that talk at home. I want to get rid of it.
Well, so
Family doesn't.
let's talk about streaming platforms for a minute, because there's so many of them.
Netflix is just not doing it for me these
No,
days.
it's not.
Not anymore.
We feel that way about Hulu, I think. Like,
Hulu's.
we don't talk about it much, but
I can get rid of that, but I only pay $2 a month for that, so it doesn't bother me that much.
okay.
But the family uses it heavily.
Do you do like, well, if you're paying $2, you probably don't have the Hulu Live thing. We canceled that.
Yeah.
We just do the regular
They were
Hulu.
increasing the rate, and we were like, we don't even watch this nearly enough.
Yeah.
Netflix just went up.
Yes,
Yeah.
it did.
And it just aggravates me more because I personally just don't use it. Every time I go on it, I just constantly cycling through the same thing. And I know there's more stuff on there, but they're just constantly showing me the same stuff.
Same shit.
But if I think about something, I go, let me search this and see if it's on it. Sometimes it is. I'm like, but it would never show it to me so it's constantly just showing me the same stuff, and I'm like over it. I can never find anything that I want to watch. I guess it's algorithms.
What else?
broke.
What other streaming services are you using?
Right now, I bounce between Disney and HBO.
That's pretty
Like,
much
I'm
us.
watching,
Yeah.
like
It's pretty much us, yeah.
The Mandalorian. I got sucked into that. Now I'm like watching all the Star Wars in order for
Wow.
the first time ever. I've never done that.
First time ever?
Yeah.
Where are you?
Well, there's this. I'm just starting.
Oh,
Yeah. So
you're gonna love it. Slash hate it.
There's a couple that
Right?
that's what I'm ready for. But Mandalorian, I was sucked into that so good, man.
Oh, dude.
And the WandaVision,
Yeah, WandaVision was cool, man.
so good.
Yeah, we liked it.
Like, I'm gonna watch that again. That's how much I liked it.
I would like to watch it again because what's funny is, Jack, I meant to tell you this. I just saw this news article today. So like there was a lot of like, we've kind of talked about some of like the fan theories with WandaVision. Like as it was going on, like people were like, oh, it's going to lead to this, or oh, this is going to be the villain or whatever. One of the big fan theories was like that the villain was going to be this dude like Mephisto, who's like basically the devil in Marvel Comics. And everybody, like, this was like a trending kind of thing. A lot of people were kind of talking about it and thinking that was what was going to happen. And it just came out today that like the writer of the show doesn't even know who that character is. He's like, of course it wasn't going to be that. I had no idea that he existed until we started doing press for the show, and people started asking me about it. And I'm just like, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, that's hysterical.
Like, could you imagine being that guy and like you get on the internet and you see like your show is doing very well. You're making Disney money, right? And like everybody likes your cool little MCU show that has way too long end credits, and nobody's talking about that. And but like everybody's like, yeah, Mephisto. And he's like, wait, who? What? What if he like thought that it was just like, what if he's like, oh, these people are fucking stupid, and then somebody's like, no, dude, you're fucking stupid.
Yeah. I'd be like, Google Manifesto, or whatever his name is,
Mephisto or whatever.
Yeah, I'd just be.
I don't know much about the character. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I've already said I wasn't familiar, with Wanda or Vision much as far as like the comics are concerned, just from the movies. But. So you like all the Marvel stuff? You like the Marvel movies?
Well, that's the thing. Like, I never really watched them. I just I was just kind of scrolling around and I saw it and I watched the trailer and I'm like, well, it seems like an interesting idea. I was never into it, but the idea just came across really cool to me. So I was like, well, let me try this out, and I watched it and I was like, dude, this is so cool.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
You're the first person I've ever like talked to
I don't
about
watch
that.
much TV.
That you like never saw much of the Marvel movies. Have you seen any of them?
No, never
Really?
watched a single one.
But you watch WandaVision.
It came across the screen. I was
And
like,
you
this,
liked it.
and I read it. I watched the trailer. Like, I was like, this just looks up my alley. The way it was like described to me, and
You should watch.
got into it.
We could try and make you a list of Marvel movies that you should check out.
Thor Ragnarok.
Thor Ragnarok.
they
You
just
should
all look
start
so
there.
cheesy.
Oh, dude.
But is Wanda in them?
Wanda is in.
Just give me the list that has her in it. I think I just got a crush on her.
That's fair. That's fair.
enough.
She comes in on Age of Ultron, and then she's in Civil War. She's pretty much in all the Avengers movies after the second Avengers movie, and she's good. She's great. But see, like
I was always a fan of the other of like the
Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen.
yeah, it's her sister, right?
Yeah, she's the younger sister. Of
she's the younger sister.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's staggering.
You know, they're like your age.
Yeah,
Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen.
They're like a couple years younger. I remember because everybody
like-
was counting
yeah.
down when they turned 18, which was weird.
That's
Yeah, that was gross.
Yeah.
I remember
That
that.
is
Gross
very
time.
gross.
That was a
I'm
very
only a
gross
couple
time.
years older too.
yeah.
Everybody's like, "Oh, dude, they're almost there." I'm
'Cause,
like,
like-
"You guys are fucking gross."
Somebody just that Graham, what's his name? Graham Norton. He's like the English guy that has a talk show. His show seems like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But he had her on his show like 6 years ago, apparently. And she was like, "Oh, the twins are like 28," and everyone's like, "They can't be 28. They're more like blah blah." And everyone's like, "This is from 6 years ago, so they're like this age now." And I was like, "Wow, I'm only like 2 years older than them." That's always baffles me.
Yeah, yeah.
She's like 31, Wanda. She's like 31,
Yeah.
32, something like that.
And they're great, like together. Her and the Vision did a great job. I like the show. The only complaint, and I've mentioned it
Then
to death, is the end credits. It's like the episodes are 27 minutes long, and 7 minutes of that is end credits. And I can't. I'm very bothered by it. I'm just bothered by it. I can't get over it. It affected my overall score. It did. I couldn't get past it. But so Disney Plus is dope. We get Hulu Plus through the it's like a bundle, John, where we do Hulu Plus or Hulu Plus, Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN Plus.
Yeah.
That's the bundle. ESPN Plus is borderline trash.
Yeah, it doesn't do what we were hoping it would do.
Well, like you
Or
open,
provide.
so you get the ESPN app on your TV, and it's ESPN regular and ESPN Plus. ESPN regular is basically pointless unless you have cable. You know what I mean?
like,
You
why
can
the
go
fuck
on to
would I
you can
want
go
the
on to
app?
regular ESPN and watch all those cool afternoon shows and the daily shows that they have on there, the sports centers, the highly questionables, da 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 da. But you have to have a cable provider to watch them, which is trash to me. Then you go to ESPN Plus, and it's just basically random assorted like college sports and like a couple.
Like, no offense, they work hard, but I don't care about college sports.
One cool thing that is on ESPN Plus is like they have all those ESPN 30 for 30s, like the cool little sports documentaries.
Like
And some of those are really cool.
Peyton's Places.
Peyton's Places is dope, of course. The Bruce Lee, I watched a few of the 30-30s. I watched the Bruce Lee one, the Ric Flair. The Lance Armstrong one was dope, like really good. Who else? The Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa one was dope. There's a bunch of them.
Rattling off all these names, and I'm like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've heard that name
Is
before.
he a hockey player?
Do you remember Lance Armstrong?
Is he
Lance Armstrong was that Tour de France guy.
He was the
The
doper,
cyclist. Yeah.
the doper cyclist.
Dirty Stumpers.
Yes.
Did he get his titles taken away from him?
All of them.
Oof.
All of
It's
them.
got to fucking sting because
dude,
everybody does drugs.
Everybody's doping in that sport, and like, dude,
You know what I mean?
I've over the past like year, I've gotten like really interested in like any. I mean, I don't watch them religiously, but I've seen a couple really dope like documentaries about cycling and like the Tour de France and shit, and like how everybody is fucking doped up. And seriously, unless like somebody like straight rats on you, you don't get really tested. There's like scientific methods to like hiding this shit in your DNA and shit, like to where you can pass drug tests and still be doping. Like I think for lack of a better term, you like basically microdose on it, and you basically just it becomes a part of you. Like you just do it gradually over time to where it's like diluted into your system. And I'm not a scientist, so none of it really makes sense to me. But it's all so crazy interesting because that's like the only sport really that anybody knows about that's a thing. And holy fuck, they're cycling literally around a country for a month.
Yeah, I might want some extra electrolytes before doing that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Seriously.
Yeah.
But like, dude, the documentary was cool because everybody was wearing those yellow rubber band, the Live Strong. That was him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Because he was a
Because he
cancer
had
survivor,
cancer.
right?
Yeah.
So like he started this whole like campaign, cancer campaign, and all this shit, and did a ton of good, right? And then eventually, like people around him on the U.S. team are getting like narked out for fucking doping and shit, and like he's just kind of like, yeah, they're all fucked up, all these people. Like he's just like pointing fingers at other people, and eventually somebody narked on him, and dude, he lost everything. I think he won like 5 of those things, maybe more. 7. That's right, 7.
Did he have to give money back?
Yeah, he lost endorsements. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, like he's not broke now because he's
Was it necessary? I mean, is it necessary?
I don't know, man. Like, I don't. That's a good question.
Think about the shit they put their bodies through for that. I mean, like maybe they should be allowed.
It's a good question
I don't know.
because, like, what? First of all, it's like you're cheating in a sport where everybody's cheating. So is it cheating, right?
Or is it just being the best?
Is
You're
it
trying
just
to be the
frowned
best.
upon?
Being the
or
best
is it-
cheater is still fucking something, man. That's
Right,
something to be
right.
proud of.
Well, I think it comes down to like international like sporting law. Like there's some sort when you do international sports where you're competing between multiple countries, there's different sets of rules and guidelines to that because all the countries have to follow those guidelines, which is why like Russia's been in a lot of trouble like with the Olympics and stuff. Is because like they haven't followed those guidelines. They're doing that like doping shit like I was talking about with this cycling stuff. And a lot of this shit comes from Russia, which is crazy. That's a whole nother
Not really surprising.
it's a whole nother thing. Yeah, it's really bizarre. That whole like world of it. And yeah, I put it on just to kind of see how it would turn out. And dude, it was like uncensored. Like he's cursing the whole time, like fuck this and fuck that. I was like, what? This is crazy. Like yeah. That Bruce Lee shit was dope. I like that. But yeah, then there's Paramount Plus now, which we're not
It's
getting.
too much.
We're not getting.
It's not. It's too much.
Every station doesn't need a
there's
freaking
one-
streaming service.
There's one for every channel. Yeah, yeah. Like you said, there's
And
like
it sounds like Paramount Plus is going to offer a lot of really cool things, but sorry,
yeah.
we're giving way too much money out already.
Well, it becomes a cable bill, which is
good,
what we're trying to get
Yeah.
away from in the
begin
beginning.
with.
yeah, but pretty much all of them, you can shut off. You can pause your subscriptions. I do that sometimes. Where
Do you?
if there's just nothing, you can just shut it off. Like I shut Disney off for a couple months, and I just turned it back on because I wanted to watch Mandalorian. And so you can shut it off, use something else for a little bit. If something from Paramount comes on, shut off your Netflix for 2 months, watch Paramount for a few months, and then
When you
turn it
pause-
off. And you can kind of lapse them so that because you get a couple extra,
Yeah, because if you cancel like in the middle of the month, a lot of times they'll give you that like.
You get it until the end of the month.
Yeah.
But
There's
whenever you're
That's
30
the
days.
difference between today's a la carte menu and the Comcast because you can shut off things and not be penalized for it.
Right.
How long are you? Is there a limit to how long you can turn it off for?
Nah, you just shut it off.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess
Like-
you just cancel your.
like
are
I-
you talking about pause? Like, is there a pause button, or you cancel your
I have,
subscription?
as far as the streamers go, I'm not sure. I know, like with software I use, there are like legit pause buttons on
Okay,
some of them,
okay.
but on the streaming sites, I've just shut them off, just cancel them. It's because they save your information. So when
Yeah,
you
you're right.
decide a month later that you want to shut it back, turn it back on, you legit just
Welcome
go
back.
put your email.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just hit resubscribe and you're in.
We won't do that.
We just
We just gave somebody
it
our
helps 'cause
password.
What did we cancel
Especially
to
if
get
you
HBO?
wanna try a new one now,
we
you know?
dropped the
We
live
dropped Hulu Live.
to get HBO.
Hulu Live was going to be like $70 a month.
Yeah,
For what?
yeah,
Commercials? We paid for commercial free and we still had a shit ton of commercials.
yeah.
Yeah, Hulu drives me crazy with their commercials, and they're real invasive commercials. They're legit commercials about stuff I think about when I'm like using the bathroom, and like I'll go downstairs and there it is on my TV. Like
shut
they're in everything.
They're in everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we just have regular Hulu streaming, which I need to see if I can get on and watch, because apparently Grey's Anatomy's back up, and I think a major character died.
Oh boy.
And I gotta know who. I didn't read a spoiler. I don't care normally about spoilers. I'm still gonna watch whatever I'm gonna watch.
You've been kind of over Grey's anyway.
It's the same shit. Week after week.
Is that show still on?
Yes.
Get out. How long has that been on?
27 years.
No.
I was gonna say 15 or more.
I think they're in season 6.
Bring up IMDb. That's my favorite website.
She loves it. Oh my God. You guys are best friends.
What's my favorite?
It's my
favorite app.
website.
It's my favorite app.
I
So
swear,
much info on this app,
we
man.
keep talking about it. I'm going to do it. I swear to God, I'm going to do it. I got to come up with a Jackie IMDb sounder.
It is.
gotta
They're in
happen.
season 17 right now.
Yeah, I was close.
And it just came back from
2005.
their winter break. Is always super long. Like,
Is this main lady still the same in the show?
Yep. She's still there. I honestly think when she wants to not do the show, they'll end it.
Who are you talking about?
Ellen Pompeo.
How
Is that
nice I'm
Meredith
being.
Grey?
Meredith
See how
Grey.
nice I'm. Oh, is this lady? I was so
lady.
nice.
Yeah. Yep.
Yo,
yep.
who this babe?
Who's this bitch?
She was.
who
She
that
played.
mean bitch over there?
She played in Old School.
She
She
did.
played that girl Nicole,
I always forget that until
Wait,
I
that's
watch
her?
that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the one that Mitch had a crush on.
Right. And she was with the dude from the other.
He was all grabbing her. That's what I always
Yeah.
think.
That's
from that
that's
movie.
Mitch's girlfriend.
That's
From Old
like
School?
that's the main like love interest in Old
That's
School.
his
yeah.
main. That's
Yeah.
the girl he always had a crush on in high
It's
school.
like who he gets at the end. Spoiler alert! If you haven't seen Old School, go fuck yourself.
My boy Blue.
Dear Mitch,
Oh, man.
if you're reading this letter, you already know.
There was such a stretch of time where some badass movies came out. And
Oh, dude. Especially like comedies. Like there was a time, like there was a stretch there where like there was just solid gold comedies coming out. Like when Will Ferrell kind of blew up, you know.
Vince Vaughn, same.
Vince Vaughn, yeah.
What's his name? Falker.
Yep, and then Superbad like really kind of started a whole nother like realm of that.
Does Vince Vaughn wink in every role he's ever played?
This sounds like an IMDb question.
I don't know. I don't know the
know.
answer. I'm asking if you guys think he's winked.
I
in
know he
every-
winks in Swingers.
and I know he winks in I'm pretty sure he winks in Old School, and
He
I'm pretty
does.
sure he winks in Wedding Crashers, probably multiple times. in
Multiple
Wedding
times. Yeah, probably.
Crashers. So I'm just wondering.
Yeah, that might be a thing.
So we're gonna do a Vince Vaughn movie marathon.
I'm all about it. First of all, I'm all about it. This is a
What do
great
you
start,
do?
great idea.
We're gonna do a Vince Vaughn movie marathon, and we're gonna take notes if he winks.
What are you gonna start with?
I would say Swingers. That's like one of my favorite movies.
He is so obnoxious in that movie.
I know he
both
is.
of them. Both
Yeah.
him and Favreau are so
Yeah,
obnoxious.
So obnoxious. Yeah, Favreau pisses me off more because he's just such a puss. But
Oh
like,
my god!
you're
a hard movie.
you're
It's
so
so-
money and you don't even know it.
You
It's
got to
like-
be in the mood for that movie
Gotta
because
be.
that's how good they are. That they just annoy the fuck out.
But I'll
of
tell you
It's
for
so
real,
bad.
I'm always in the mood to watch Swingers. Like I understand what you're saying because you are completely correct because it's like a totally weird and like just kind of just out there old school kind of movie. But I fucking love it.
they're the
The
dudes-
music, the vibe,
They're the dudes that you just want to smack.
Yeah.
and they play it so
so
well.
good. Yeah, and like I love how young they are in that movie
Yeah,
too.
it's
Like
weird.
it's really crazy to see Jon Favreau like that, especially. And yeah, I love that shit. What do you got there, Jackie?
I'm just looking up his IMDb, see where we should start.
Okay, can you find what his first movie is, Vince Vaughn? Scrolling all the way to the bottom. He's done a lot. We just saw him in isn't that wrestling movie? What is it? Fighting in the Family or something like that. He was good in that.
This can't be right.
He's awesome.
Give me all filmography. Actor.
Vince Vaughn.
The first movie. So he did. Oh my god.
Swingers
Nice
had to
one.
be like close to it at first, I would think. He was young in that.
And there's a lot of TV shows. Well, he was in something, but it's uncredited for him, but something called For the Boys in 1991. It says cheering soldier in crowd.
Oh. Extra.
He was in one episode of Doogie Howser.
Really?
But he was also in one episode of China Beach, one episode of 21 Jump Street, some other TV show called Nasty Boys, one episode. He did a lot of one episode things.
Okay.
Pretty standard. Oh my God, I forgot. He's in Rudy. I forgot he's in Rudy.
I forgot he was in Rudy too.
You don't even like Rudy.
I hate Rudy.
Don't even talk about Rudy.
I don't like
Jon Favreau is in Rudy too.
He is. I don't like Rudy.
Yeah, he was a football player in Rudy.
I think it's an overrated movie.
You
Just
Sean
like-
Astin.
just like
I
Notre Dame.
cry. When his best friend dies, I get choked up.
Does Sean Astin just annoy you?
Yes.
Yeah, I hear
All the
you.
time. All
Did
the
he
time.
annoy you in the Goonies?
Yes,
He was
He
gold.
He
Not as much
It's
in the
our
Goonies.
time down here.
Not as much in the
he's
Goonies.
annoying
Their
in the Goonies.
time up there.
I just watched the Goonies 2 weeks ago.
Josh Brolin steals the show in the Goonies.
The second you ride up there on Troy's bucket,
I wish Vince Vaughn was in the Goonies.
Swingers is one of his. Like he did Rudy, and that role wasn't a major role.
No,
He did some other things. There's not even a picture.
Rudy's
I'm guessing it's a TV movie. Then Swingers in 1996.
Rudy's a very forgetful film.
No, it's not.
Forgettable film.
You're
yeah.
fucking crazy.
It's terrible.
It's one of the greatest sports movies of all time.
Some would say that. That's one opinion. Well, that's a popular
You
opinion.
can't sit there and say that the music in that movie doesn't get you.
The
Doesn't
music's
tug
good.
at your heartstrings a little bit.
It's been a
I
long-
get choked up.
It's been a long time
You're
since
probably why I haven't seen it in a while.
yes, I
Guess
am.
what we're watching tonight? Probably have to find it on cinema.
That's not happening.
Oh, it's happening. He's
Zero.
gonna wake up in the middle of the night. and
Watch
Rudy's
it on
gonna be
Hulu with a ton of commercials.
I'll wake up in the middle of the night to Rudy. I'm fine with that. If it happens, it happens. I'm not going to get mad if you put it on while I'm
His
asleep.
best friend was the only one that believed in him, and he died.
Are you into technology, website hosting, cloud computing, or know someone who is? Develop, deploy, and scale modern applications and websites faster and easier with Linode, the largest independent open cloud provider in the world. Get started on Linode today with $100 in free credit for listeners of the Might Be News Network. You can find all the details at linode.com/mbn. Based in Philadelphia's Old City, Linode's mission is to accelerate innovation by making cloud computing simple, affordable, and accessible to all. Learn more by visiting linode.com/mbn. Click on the Create Free Account button to get started. What's the point? Is there a point to this? What is your point?
Are you just gonna sit there and look stupid?
I'll go first. My point this week is that I know, like, we've kind of talked at different times on this show about the algorithm on social media. Like when we watched The Social Dilemma for the first time, we were kind of like really into that for a little bit. That got me into QAnon and blah, 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 blah. But like, all right, so I watched a video game streamer like one time. One time I did this. And not even for very long. They were just
Why?
playing a new game that just came out, and I wanted to see what it looked like, right? I wanted to see somebody playing it and enjoying it. And I also was interested in how, like, that format is. Like, it's kind of cool how people can kind of green screen themselves, like, at the bottom of the screen and, like, do that whole thing and be a part of the whole process. And it's an interesting thing. But I did it one time. And now, just recently, I feel like over the past like week or two, it's like every sponsored ad, not just a couple, but every single one is for some person in their fucking basement or their man cave. Some of them have very cool setups. Some of them have very well put together sponsored ads. Others, holy shit, guys.
Yeah.
If you are a Facebook gamer, okay, and you are putting together these cool little sponsored ads that you are throwing money away for people to laugh at you in your comments, oh my God, people are ruthless on some of these. Some of them have very dedicated followers. These ones that I'm like talking about though, like you go into it, like one guy, okay, he made a sponsored ad. It was decent, looked decent. Okay, he himself was a complete cornball. And the sponsored ad was he was trying to get people to pay him money to train them at Call of Duty. 3 installments of $49.99. he was charging people.
Fucking hustler, baby.
My man, you go into the fucking comment section and it's like a nuclear blast zone. People are fucking
Furious.
trashing this guy. And yo, like, cause he has it on the screen, like his kill death ratio, right? His KD as they call it. So how many times he's been killed versus how many times he's killed other people. And people are like, look at this motherfucker's KD. I'll trash him. Like,
Yeah, dude.
Like they're all over the
Call of
comment
Duty
section.
people are next level, just
And,
weird.
you know, I was like, please tell me this dude's replying to some of this stuff. And sure enough, he was. And he lowered his price. And then, like, so I see one comment. Where he's like, all right, it's 3 installments of $20 now. Or $29.99 or whatever the fuck. Yeah. And
He paid
somebody
for
was
that
like, go fuck yourself. And then but then you keep scrolling just because I was like, oh, this is too good. Like I just kept going, right? And eventually this dude started commenting. He's like, man, none of you guys can take a joke.
Yeah, and you're like, this ain't no joke.
Yeah.
This ain't no joke.
Bro, you did not just produce this whole video and sponsor this shit as a joke. Stop playing. And I looked and he's got like a few thousand followers and it made me fucking want to shit myself. I was fucking mad as fuck. But hey, I mean, I guess with the pandemic and shit, that's the only thing that I can think of. The reason that there's so many, we were talking about it before the show. I'm on a bunch of podcasts, Facebook groups and stuff, and it's just inundated with new podcasters, right? And I feel like that's what's happening with these sponsored ads. And the only reason I'm seeing so many of them is because there's so many new people doing this shit. And I guess get your money. I don't know how it all works. I play a lot of video games, not so much now that I'm doing these videos, but damn, babe, should I be fucking doing video game streaming? Should I make a corny video and play video games? I play shit on easy. People don't want to watch that shit. People don't want to watch that shit. I play video games to be alone. You know what I mean?
I honestly don't even know how to answer your question.
I have a Pac-Man. we should try this. I have a Pac-Man arcade game in my room, in my music haven at home.
Yeah.
Dude, I see people that like just point their phones at themselves playing video games.
Yes.
And like 6,000 people will be watching them. And this is like just on like Reddit. As I'm like scrolling by, I'll be like, there it goes. I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna point my phone at it and I'll call you. I'm like, I'll send you a link and just be like, here, I'm just gonna play Pac-Man, man.
See what happens.
And I just need you to light up my comment section for me.
That's how
I'm
Twitch
pretty
started.
sure if I played any video game and it was on and I was being recorded, nobody would be watching. It would be my reaction to being hunted down by somebody trying to shoot me or those little ghost things in Pac-Man trying to get me. It'd just be me overreacting
The entire time.
Yes.
It would just be you screaming and yelling. And
Because I was watching, like, Kim bought one, like the little handheld ones that you plug into your TV.
Yeah, yep.
And at one point, it was like she was taking a turn, I would take a turn, Maggie would take a turn. Then my dad joined us, and we were all sitting there on the edge of the bed in the one spare bedroom at my parents' house, and we're all like, oh my God, oh, like all of us.
Yeah.
And we were all laughing because we knew we were overreacting so badly, but it was so much fun.
Right.
So much fun.
It's fun. I don't even know what I would do if I was being filmed playing video games. I just sit there quiet most of the time, just play my fucking video game.
A lot of times they just talk. A lot of these guys talk shit with other people that are playing. If they're in like live groups,
right?
Like or they just talk to themselves, or they just talk to the people that would be watching them. Like my son watches a lot of like the Minecraft streamers.
Okay, yeah.
You know, he watches a lot of that, and as crazy and annoying as I think it is, he learns a lot from it. No differently than when I'm watching somebody, you know, some music producer do some weird shit I don't know online. Right. I'm like, let me figure this out by going on YouTube.
Minecraft is like such a an interesting game. I've never actually played it, but I know people that love it, right? And like grown adults that love it.
I play it,
dude. It's so intricate.
I like
you can do so much.
I like the creative
it's world
mode.
building. You build, yeah.
I like the creative mode. I don't do the other the other mode. I only do the.
So that would be like a kind of a cool experience to like see what other people are building in this game and then try to like
it's awesome.
Do that. You know what I mean? But like just watching, I don't know. Like I can't watch somebody play Call of Duty matches over and over again.
That's boring.
I would rather play Call of Duty, and I would probably rather jump off this balcony.
I'd rather
play Call of Duty. Be honest. You
I'd
hear
rather
that,
get
Kev?
laid, honestly.
You hear that, Kev?
Like, can't you just get laid instead? Apparently not with most of those.
It's an unpopular opinion.
Okay.
Well, the most popular opinion is that most of those people are living in their mom's basement.
Well, yeah, that's... well, shit, man.
Jackie, what's your point this week?
I saw the most adorablest video a couple of days ago. Basically, a penguin escapes killer whale by jumping onto tour boat. And let me tell you, I'm fucking jealous because I wish I was on this tour boat.
So for a little background, penguins are ultimately your favorite animal.
One of them. I like dogs and cats.
Well, I'm saying as far as exotic animals.
Exotic
go.
animals. I'd
Animals
probably
that don't live
I'd
in
give it to
somebody's
penguins.
house,
Like
typically.
I would probably cry if I ever got to like come face to face with a penguin.
Have you ever seen that Jim Carrey penguin movie?
No.
Oh, what was that?
IMDb. Hold on, I'll find it.
Mr. Popper's Penguins.
Yeah, that's
I know
it.
what you're talking
That's
about.
it. That's it. Yeah.
It's
I've seen
so
people.
cute.
That's good.
I've seen people. See,
That's
when
cute.
I was a kid, there was a teacher in my elementary school that had her class put on a performance of Mr. Popper's Penguins. So, I've seen it performed by students,
Just not by CGI penguins.
not CGI penguins. But this took place in in Antarctica. These people, there was a couple different tour boats, and I'm not sure what kind of boats they are because I'm not a boat person, but it just looks like it's got like inflatable sides to it, you know? And these killer whales, it wasn't just one. I think there's a few, and at points it's fucking terrifying because you're just watching on these boats. They're not much further up off of that water, and that poor penguin was swimming back and forth trying to get away. And then the first attempt, it tries to get onto the boat. It hits like the rubber side and bounces off. And then it jumps up again, and the person sitting there kind of makes sure it guides on, like puts its arm out. And then the killer whales were following that boat because I think it knew. Like killer whales are smart. Whales in general, I think, are really smart, right? And they were following that boat for a while before they gave up. And then eventually, when the penguin felt safe enough, it just
Launched itself into
put
this
itself
boat.
right back into put it right back into the water
Oh,
and
into
swam
the water,
away.
right.
Yeah, it was so adorable.
So I think we
Just
need to
Google
watch.
it.
I wonder. I don't know if March of the Penguins is on Disney Plus, but you've never seen that either, and we should
No.
watch March of the Penguins. This is a good movie.
Yeah,
Morgan Freeman narrates that one, and then there's Hoax of the Penguins. There's a version of March of the Penguins. It's basically the exact same movie, but narrated by Samuel L. Jackson.
oh,
Farce of the Penguins. That's what it was called. Farce of the Penguins.
just like look at him standing on this boat.
Yeah. You
Like,
would bawl
come
your
on.
eyes out.
I'd be bawling. Like not only I'd be like, let me just pet him.
Let me touch him.
You just want to hang out with
Be a
them.
friend.
You just want to hang out with
Well,
these guys.
Yeah,
And
they're
I think
awesome.
a lot of people, like, they normally laugh when I say this, but there really are penguins that live in warm weather, and I feel like nobody ever believes me.
There is,
Because
yeah.
I went to Hawaii, and the guy in the shuttle bus or whatever was like, oh, there's penguins in the hotel lobby of your hotel. And I was like, what the fuck's he talking? Like, I just stayed quiet because I was like, maybe they're like fake. Maybe they're statue penguins.
Maybe
Like,
they're
I
hockey
didn't-
players.
I didn't know. Right. I was like,
right,
I
right.
didn't know what he was talking about. And this is where my love for penguins starts because I, every day, probably multiple times a day, you can imagine because you see me at Petco.
Mm-hmm.
I visit the ferrets every time.
Disappears. Poof.
Is it, like, where'd you go? Like, you know where I go.
I know exactly where you're at.
So I'd go to this lobby, and there was South African penguins, and they were the cutest things. They just waddle up, and when they're ready to go in, they just dive head first, and then they're freaking fast, man.
They are.
I don't get it. They're just fast.
When they're just like waddling around, they're pretty quick. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's funny that they're they're your favorite animal, and like I rarely think of penguins. Like it's like like I don't mean that in like an insulting way. I
Please
just mean
think
it
of
like
the penguin.
well, it's just cool that like
That's cool, dude.
I mean like
Nobody hates you for that.
What do you
Well,
like,
like-
lions? Oh, how cliche.
oh no like I like when you think of like a zoo, like I don't think penguins, but like I would love to go see penguins. Like I would love to go see penguins. They're like this like
We should
kind of like slept on animal.
should probably
for
go
me.
to Maui.
They got them all
That's
over the place.
where I was. I was
Let's
in
go to
Maui.
Antarctica.
What's cold? That's really cold.
No thanks.
So, no
To
thanks.
see like some depressing polar bears up there. It's horrible up there apparently. Carl, do you have a point? You know something you want to talk about? Good point, Jackie.
Like a happy thing?
Anything.
I told you, man. I've been shutting off the news.
Reddit. You were going to talk about Reddit, weren't you?
What?
One of your
You
one of your
you
three
can talk about
accounts?
Reddit. So for those of you who don't know,
I don't remember. That was an hour ago.
Carl is like off of social media. Like your main like social media steez is like Reddit. You would say, right? Like that's your thing.
Yeah, I surf that because it makes me laugh, and I don't know who anybody is.
Right.
That's my biggest thing with it. But like, since the election has ended, like I've like really shut down. Like I'm really struggling to get back into any kind of like because the level of just fuckery on. It's just really. I'm just kind
lot
of
of
really
negativity.
yeah, I've
You're not missing out.
yeah. So I go and like
I just can't
think
do it.
right now I'm
It's
just
tough.
yeah. I'm just really shut down with it. I don't know what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
Apparently, we're getting some checks. I don't know if I don't know the details on that because of how much I make a year. So I don't know. I don't know anything. I don't know shit. I go to work. I see a bunch of weird people all day. all these fucking places I go to. And I go home, I hang with the family, and then I go to my work on my own shit. And I write music every fucking night.
There you go.
That's work.
What's up?
And then, I try to I'm tired of seeing people's masks all over the ground everywhere I go.
Yeah, that's frustrating.
So that's news.
Yeah.
That's dumb shit.
Stop littering.
Yeah.
But I don't have any penguin stories. I watched.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I was watching some. We've been watching this wolf documentary at home. That's some pretty cool shit.
Yeah.
Some like Alaskan wolves that like have never seen people.
What is
so
it?
they're not, like,
what are you watching it on? Is it on Disney Plus? Because they do the National Geographic shit on there.
I think
curious.
I think they're watching it on Netflix.
Okay.
One of my nieces is obsessed with. She loves
But it's, like,
wolves,
real remote
dogs,
shit.
horses.
Or like if you go to like Yellowstone or like some places in America where wolves are, they're like little. They could be sketchy because they know what humans are. They've been hunted by humans. But like this documentary, this guy's like way up in like remote areas.
Okay.
There's like hardly any people.
Where there's no people. So these wolves see the 4-wheeler and they see him and they just kind of like hanging around, not scared of him. It's
Yeah.
Like, so he's
they
able to
don't know,
really,
yeah.
he's really able to like document them, and it's pretty interesting. I don't know the name of it, but that's to me that was news that the guy didn't get eaten because when I was watching, I'm like, this guy's fucking crazy. Like who pays this guy to do that? And
What was that Liam Neeson movie with the wolves?
the gray wolves.
Was it the
Gray?
Gray?
I think it was
called the
Gray.
Gray.
Yeah.
Gray.
Because wasn't that the alpha? Was there a gray wolf?
See,
like
now
alpha?
that's what I want.
Maybe,
That's how I
maybe.
picture wolves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like from that
Vicious.
movie,
I'm
but-
just like, why would anybody ever mess with Liam Neeson?
Need a pack of
He's
wolves.
a
to do it.
Jedi.
That's true.
He's a Jedi. He was in Taken. So
You'll
like,
find that
he'll
out
get,
soon.
He'll get his fucking daughter back.
Yeah. Yeah. No doubt about it.
He's a badass dude. He fought wolves. Like, come on, don't fuck with Liam Neeson ever.
Ever. You hear that, wolves? You hear that? Fuckers. Well, Carl, if you need to catch up on news, I got a show on YouTube
Listen,
for you.
I'm just gonna subscribe right now.
Oh, I would love that.
You keep
Do it.
reminding
You
me.
won't.
And
Do it,
well,
yeah.
like
won't.
here's the thing. I'm on such a mission to like not be on my phone as much, and it's like you're in competition with fucking porn right now, buddy. Like that's like with me, it needs to either be like the hottest song you've ever written or like your dick pic. That might be the way to get me to watch your YouTube videos.
Now I have an
Wow,
idea
now
for.
we are enticed.
Now I have an idea for my next episode.
there you
So
go. I'm-
I'll try to fit all of that into one.
I do
one
go on
5-minute
YouTube.
show.
I do find myself on YouTube a lot in the morning when I'm drinking my coffee, like looking at like.
Well, you know what?
Well,
There's
8 a.m. 8 a.m. Monday through Friday. New episodes are out. So
I'm actually considering putting it out at midnight. What do you think about that? On the fly. I put everything else out at midnight.
yeah, I don't see a problem with it.
That way, if people wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, they can watch
can
it at
watch
6
it.
o'clock in the morning.
Yep. People wake up.
What
at
time are
midnight.
you uploading it normally?
I put it out I schedule it for 8 a.m. But I think I'm going to start doing it at midnight. Fuck it.
8 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, can you auto upload it somehow?
That's what I do.
Oh, okay.
No. Yeah. I put it up the night before and I just like schedule it for that.
Schedule it to be
that
at
time.
whatever time. So,
Yeah.
yeah, just do
Yep.
midnight.
I'll just do midnight.
Yeah, that's more like legit network type shit.
Yeah. It's just there.
Yeah.
Like I was like 8 a.m. Like it sounds good because like I get to work at 8 a.m. It's just like this. I do everything else at midnight. This is a different thing,
you're
so I was like,
doing-
I wanted to do it different. But after 2 weeks, it's like
Let's do midnight.
So tonight at midnight, you'll upload a story about yesterday's news.
Correct.
So
Yesterday
by the
and Friday.
time I would get it tomorrow morning on my feed, like say 8 o'clock, you're talking about 2 days ago.
No, yesterday.
I'm like, my brain's
And I
twisted
also
on this one.
I also trust me.
So he's recording. He's recording Sunday,
Like,
Sunday to Thursday.
Yeah, I record Sunday to Thursday. So I record Monday's episode on Sunday. I record Tuesday's
and
episode
that's
on
about
Monday.
Saturday's news.
Well, yes.
It could be the weekend. Like,
And I also do skip around. Like, so I basically, as of now, like by saying yesterday in 5 minutes, it's like just letting everybody know. Yeah, I recorded this 5 minutes yesterday.
Yesterday just means it's something in the past.
Yeah.
It's just a time frame.
I try to
Like
keep
you-
it within a couple days anyway.
But you have like when you showed it to me, you have filler. Mm-hmm. Right? So you can kind of like block out a week's worth of shows with filler content and then fill in the blanks as stuff happens through the weeks.
Well, like slow news weeks like last week where it's like, okay, they're waiting to sign this stimulus thing. It's going to happen. We just don't know when, right? That's what the news was last weekend. And it was like, all right, cool. So I get on there and they don't pass the shit until like Wednesday or Thursday, you know what I mean? And it's like, well, what the fuck am I supposed to talk about until they do this, right? When nothing else is going on. Literally, the biggest news story of last week was the
Oprah interview with
Meghan Markle interview, and it's just like, okay, and then you throw in some Pepe Le Pew shit.
Why is that so? Why?
Well, the biggest staggering
Help
part of
me.
that.
This is why I'm shut off because I don't get it.
The biggest staggering part of that interview, I suppose, like the biggest newsworthy part of it was basically they accused the royal family of being straight up racist. They accused them of kind of. She revealed that she had suicidal thoughts while being, basically locked up in the
British
palace.
tabloids attacked her.
They trashed her.
For
Yeah.
everything they praised Kate Middleton for, they trashed Meghan Markle for.
Yeah.
So it's like, how are you going to praise her but trash her? Is it just because she's literally biracial?
Right. And that's kind of what it came
There was
across
talks
as.
about how dark their her and Prince Harry's baby was going to be.
Right, like royal family members were like really legitimately like concerned about
concerned
it.
with
Yeah.
how dark he was going to be.
And like,
Well,
but
he's
then
like a redhead, right? Like a real light.
He's-
skin.
Yeah.
Yes,
Of course
yes.
they're racist.
yeah, like well,
I mean,
first
they're
of all,
fucking
like,
royalty.
who, like,
It's 2021, and you saw kings and queens. Of course, they're fucking racist. You don't get to those positions by being normal.
I'll send you the episode I did because like the
all about purity to them.
Oprah's reaction to the racism claims were hilarious to me.
Yeah.
Like she like
March
Meghan
with-
Markle was like, yeah, they were concerned about the shade of the baby, and like and like Oprah just like was like long pause. What? She's like, I'm shocked. Everybody, I'm sure, is shocked to hear this. It's like, who is shocked to hear this?
I'm not
Like,
shocked at all that the queen wouldn't want to.
Well, apparently it's
Well,
not
the
the
queen had nothing to do with us.
Apparently
It's
it's not the
other
queen.
people within the
Yeah,
royal family
yeah.
or associated with the royal family.
How old is that lady now?
Oh man,
Look, there I go again with the lady.
a million
Being
years.
so nice.
She's
She
a
is-
million years
Yeah,
old.
she's a dinosaur.
Dinosaur. Yeah, prehistoric age.
She in her
What are they-
90s?
I think so.
I'm bet you she's doping.
Something. It's funny because they put out a video from like a year or two ago with like her sharing a blanket with Meghan Markle in a car. It's like, see, we're not racist. Fucking
Okay,
people.
so let's go. Let's guess. How old do you think Queen Elizabeth is?
93.
How old do you think?
92.
She is 94.
Fuck.
Wow.
You would have
Her-
won Prices Right.
I would have won
Her
Price is Right.
birthday is April 21st, 1926.
Damn.
She'll be 95 soon.
That's crazy.
But listen,
Good on her,
Wait,
man.
wait.
to those families, it's all about purity. That's it.
That's it, dude. And like, it doesn't even matter like where you are on that like pecking order, right? Because like Prince Harry isn't anywhere close to being
He'll never
king of England,
the
right?
only- yeah, he'll never be the king, which is why like
And they ended up rolling out of the whole thing, and I'm happy for them. Like, I'm
Yeah.
happy that they are out of
he
that
saw what
toxic situation.
He saw what tabloids did to his mother,
Right.
and
I'm
he's not
sitting
going
here
to
talking
stand
about
for it.
them.
I mean, hey, like, I'm happy they're all good. It was just
Yeah.
hard for me to feel bad
That
for them because it's like, I hated living in the palace. It's like, you're talking to a nation of people who have been fucking ravaged by a pandemic that
Well, I think what the important thing to take away from that is that the grass isn't always greener here, people.
Yeah, that's a good
You
point.
got somebody who's literally born and raised, didn't have a say, and just broke away from that. That's kind of major. And I
Yeah.
don't know if people understand that. It's like, yes, he might have a privileged life, but he just kind of took himself out of that equation. And yes, he's got his mother's money from when she died, and he inherited a bunch of money. But
Yeah, I'll
like,
hire
they're
him if he needs a
literally
job.
on their own. I think they're going to create a production company.
I think I heard something about
Yeah.
that. I like the aspect of the story where like they were in a toxic situation and they got themselves out of it and they're in a better place now, right? Like I'm about that
More
kind of
people
stuff.
should do that.
Right. It's a positive story in that regard. But for me as a consumer and as someone who essentially lives paycheck to paycheck, it's just like, all right, I'm not all that. Like, I feel bad for anybody who has suicidal thoughts, right?
Yeah.
Mental illness is something that needs to be looked at as a compassionate thing, right?
Yeah.
So I'm compassionate towards her for that reason. But
And there's
when
still
it's
people who are like calling bullshit on that. And
Yeah,
it's like,
which is trash.
Whoa. You don't get to tell other people how
Piers
they
Morgan,
feel. Yeah.
Yeah, he's trash.
I did want to ask one other fun question.
Sure.
How old do you think Prince Philip is? Queen Elizabeth's husband,
Oh, man.
who looks.
Yeah, he doesn't look good at all.
Everyone's like,
He's been in and out of the hospital recently, right?
recently, yes. But it's funny. People are like, why are they so concerned with the color of the baby skin when Prince Philip is purple?
Yeah, I'm going to go with 97 for him.
Do you have a guess?
98.
He's 99.
Yes!
His birthday is June 10th of 1921.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Dude, they still had buggies.
Yeah. Yeah. He saw the Model T.
Yeah, they were Model Ts back then.
He saw the
When
Model
was
Ts
the photograph invented?
on his birthday.
Imagine
Yes.
that,
like-
man. Being that fucking old. I know it's not
I'm
going to
not
be
sure
me.
how old that picture is, but like, come on. He's terrifying.
He looks like he's been dead 10 years.
He definitely looks like somebody who has said the N-word multiple times. Like, I don't mean
In
to
his
judge a
sleep.
book by his cover, but like, yeah.
That skin, he looks like he bruises in the wind.
Wow.
Look how young.
Young. Let's do late review. I know it's a little late, but
You're just hearing about this?
Can't believe I'm just hearing.
why didn't I know about this sooner?
Try again.
That was a cool picture you just showed me. Was that their wedding?
It's the coronation.
Okay.
She's been queen since like 1952.
It's incredible. It is incredible.
At
And
this point, her
I've seen
they-
things with her that it makes her look like a really sweet lady, and
at this point, I don't think Prince Charles will ever be. Well, he'll never be king. She'll outlive him.
yeah, you might be right. You might be right. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty crazy.
I've taken an odd interest in these people
Well, it's
by
like
being here tonight.
I'll
it's
go.
a royal family. It's
I'll
pretty-
go on
pretty-
deep dives on Wikipedia, just like I do on
interesting
IMDb.
I don't
stuff.
know, man. Royalty means shit to me.
It doesn't
I
mean
get-
shit to me either, but
I get interested because I'm always like, oh, well, I remember this person in history, but how do they tie to this person? And then
Right.
you just go back. You ever hit like succeeded by or whatever?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I
yeah.
just keep looking. I'm like, oh, and then I'm just like, I need a family fucking tree.
right.
I can't keep it straight.
Yeah, it's tough.
Well, what like
I
like
know.
he made the decision to leave because of the wife, right?
Correct.
Oh, he
But I
apparently
gotta
said-
imagine he might not have always ever been happy too, right?
No, I think recently also said he's been kind of looking for a way out. Like
Hmm.
he feels bad for his dad and brother because they're stuck in there. They can't get out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Why can't they? He
Because
got
they're
out.
in line
they're in
for the-
line.
they're in line for the
He's never
throne.
gonna get it. Like
Because right now, Prince Charles is next in line, right? After him, it goes to William. And
His
after
brother.
William, it goes to William's children. So that's why Harry's not in line for the throne. It
Right.
goes, it's literally like firstborn. And even then, it would go to, I think, William's second son,
right.
not ever Harry.
He'll only ever be, what is it, a duke or something like that? Like
Yeah.
that'll
Because
always be.
they
like,
were the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, right?
yes,
That was their
yes,
title.
That's what it is.
I'm only a duke. Fuck. Like, can you imagine?
Dude, I saw it. It was like a meme, and I put it in the video from Friday, it was just like a picture from that interview, and them just sitting across from each other in this like beautiful, it was a beautiful place where they were. And but it was just like piles of money. Like they were just sitting on piles of money and like gold bars on the fucking table. And like then it's Prince Harry and Meghan Markle being like, life sucks, and then like Oprah being like, I can relate. And it's just money and gold bars everywhere. And like that kind of captured my whole opinion of it. Aside from
didn't care, and I'm like, this is kind of still a big deal. I know we fought back, and
I was just like really conflicted about like how I felt, right? Because like I said, I'm supportive of the positive aspects of it, but like the bottom line of it to me was just like.
But I think other people need to see that, like, if Prince Harry can break away from toxic things like this, then so can a normal ass human being.
That's also a really good point.
So.
What are you reviewing this week?
I'm going to review an album.
Ooh. I feel like we haven't talked about an album on here.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to change it up a little bit.
Good.
So I was like, I need some. I listened to so much music that I was like, I can't just pick something. So I asked my sister today at work, and she said, Kelly Clarkson. And I was like, which album? And she's like, her first one. I was like, touche, I used to own it, so... when CDs were a thing. So her first album came out in 2004 called Breakaway. This is the one that has Since You've Been Gone, which was huge.
Huge.
Everybody was saying
real quick, let me just ask a question. Is this the album that she made right after American Idol?
This is the first album made after that. Okay. She won American Idol in like 2001, 2002.
Right.
And I guess, I mean, how much time does it take?
Because I thought part of the whole thing at least in the beginning of American Idol, I haven't watched it in fucking forever, but like they were just like they get a record deal if they win and like they make an album or something. So I was just curious if this is like
I believe this should be her. And I'm like under artist, and it's only what I have on.
No
my
worries,
phone.
no worries, don't worry about it.
But I never watched I didn't watch American Idol for the first few seasons. I was just like, what is this?
So you didn't see her win.
No.
Okay.
I heard it on the radio.
Because she was the first one, right?
Yes. She was the first winner of American Idol. In my opinion, she's... Yeah.
Yeah.
Kelly Clarkson.
She's obnoxious, man.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I like her, but she's obnoxious. I watched.
She's one of those that's like always happy.
Always happy.
Yeah, she's obnoxious.
But there's nothing...
She's the loudest one in the room.
Yeah.
Always.
I get it.
I watched The View, and she's a judge on that.
Oh, is she on
The Voice?
On
The Voice.
I watched The View.
So
The Voice.
I've actually gone and I've auditioned for The Voice twice, and I've auditioned for American Idol once, and I auditioned for Making the Band 3, I think it was, once. Those are my auditions I went on. And the coolest one was probably Making the Band, because I got to audition in front of Doc Holliday, who's the vocal coach, and he called me to the table, and I was like, oh my God, I didn't think I was going to get picked, but he called me over to give me really nice criticism. Like,
well, that's cool.
Do you know what I mean? So I was just like, oh my God.
That's cool.
I'll remember this moment for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So, but I will say that The Voice, the way they run their auditions, so much better.
Really?
You're not wasting your whole entire day waiting.
So it's just like quicker?
Yeah, you schedule a time, so it's like people come in waves. It's not like
It's
not like American Idol. Literally, everybody lined up outside of.
I think that's all theatrics. They do that for like the.
Yeah, but
for
it's
the
just
shots.
Like yeah,
I
think so.
The earliest you can get in line was whatever time, and like
people are camping out. Probably.
Yeah, Kim went with me when I auditioned. Mm-hmm. It was a funny story. I remember the date. I'm weird with dates. I remember shit. August 27th, 2007, because it was technically my very first day at work full time, and I took the day off to go audition for American Idol. I'll remember that for the rest of my life.
American Idol wanted, part of it was to have like that, like the hooky dokey people in there.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Well,
where like the
shitty.
voice, they're legit looking for singers.
Yeah.
And there's a process to even get to that step to go.
And
perform
so
in
many
front
people
of
are like,
Gwen.
"Oh, did you audition in front of the judges?" They're like, fuck no. They gotta weed
processes.
out. There's literally thousands of people coming to these auditions because they're picking major cities to get a lot of people. So all of my auditions that I went to were in Philly, with the exception of Making the Band. That one was in DC. Oh, sorry. The Voice was New Jersey. Sorry.
Okay.
So I went to, actually The Voice both times was New Jersey. No, one time was New York. So I've been to Philly, New York, New Jersey, and DC for singing competitions.
That's pretty awesome.
And I've made it no further than
You're a
just that
podcast
side.
co-host.
Yes.
And you're
this
wonderful
is my claim
at
to fame.
You're very good at it.
I'm really good at karaoke.
You are also
And
very
I
good
did
at
used to
karaoke.
sing in a band
You did.
for about a year and a half before my anxiety took over. And I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Well, what do you think of Kelly Clarkson's first album?
I'm going to give it an 8. For a
8?
while, I was obsessed with it. I listened to it today for the first time in probably years.
For a while, you were obsessed with it, meaning when it came
Because I
out?
loved Kelly Clarkson. I just think her voice is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
She's so powerful.
Kelly Clarkson or Taylor Swift, go.
Kelly Clarkson.
Nice.
To me, Kelly Clarkson has, even if I don't know about her writing skills, because I don't know if she's writing her own songs.
Sure.
Obviously, we all know Taylor Swift
Kelly's
is
a
involved.
better singer.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I'm getting at. That Kelly Clarkson can carry it because she has the better skill with the vocals. I just don't know her writing skill. If she's writing songs or if she's having songs written for her and then singing them.
I think there's a mix. With
Yeah,
her.
it's probably
Probably a mix.
Yeah. Yep.
But I'm still going to give it to Kelly Clarkson. I just always loved and adored her.
She's got a cool style. I'll give her that. The songs that were popular on the radio, I enjoyed.
Her voice is just gigantic.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Carl, do you have anything you want to review?
Well,
It's cool if you don't.
Kind of did with WandaVision.
Yeah, that's true.
That's that
What
was
would you-
my jam so far this year is WandaVision.
What would you
what
rate
would
it?
you give it? out of
and
10?
Mandalorian? Those two shows, man.
I fucking love Mandalorian.
look,
Mandalorian is
dude,
the best show.
Every time
on
I
TV.
make a decision now, I go, "This is the way," and I just go about my business. I don't even double.
Perfect.
Anytime if I find myself thinking about something for too long, I just make a decision. I say, "This is the way," and
This is the way.
and I just go.
Decisions made.
Wow,
That's what we're
Well,
going to start doing when
yo.
we decide dinner.
The little
is the way.
baby,
that's the way.
the child. Oh my
Yeah.
God, so adorbs. I
Yeah.
couldn't even.
Yeah.
How many
And then
times
we finally
did I
found out
freak
his, but see, I'm so backwards with Star Wars that I literally did think that was Baby Yoda, and I'm like, oh, this is 1,000 years ago. This has to be so long ago. And then when so then when it finally got to revealing his name at the end of season 2, I'm like, oh, it's not Yoda. And Kat was like, what do you mean it's not Yoda? I'm like, it's Grogu.
Grogu.
This is the way.
Yeah, this is the way, babe.
When
We're
he first said his name and he's like, oh. And I was
Yo,
like,
that was the. First of all, all right, the first season was so good, and then the second season just blew it out of the water, in my opinion.
Yeah.
There's not many shows do that.
is there going to be more?
Yep,
There better be.
2022.
yeah.
right.
Yep. I confirmed that a couple
Yeah.
weeks ago. It is
So
2022.
They're doing the Boba Fett show first, and a couple other Star Wars shows.
Yep.
And then they'll do season 3 because I think they're going to do a couple mini series on different
That's
characters.
what
and
that's
then
what
it's all
Marvel's
gonna
doing
come
too.
back. Yeah,
Wait,
exactly.
It's like
When
this
does-
new business plan they're all trying out at the stake of us waiting a year
Exactly.
for every extra episode.
When does the new show for Falcon and Winter Soldier start?
This show comes out on Monday, so Friday.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I was curious if it would be tonight.
What would you rate WandaVision out of 10?
10.
Wow, instant
Okay.
classic.
I enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, because
even the boring beginning ones, I just thought they were cute and cheeky.
Nah, the 50s one got me right off the bat, man.
That's how I felt. It was
just
very
got
I
me
Love
right
Lucy,
off the bat, yeah.
that goofy little.
I was all
loved
in.
it.
I was
I
like,
loved it.
Nope.
it doesn't have to be it sucked me in, and I'm not even a fan.
Doesn't
Right.
even have to. It doesn't have to be thought provoking. The thing with entertainment is you want it to entertain you. You don't want it to remind you of constant things
Sure.
going on. That's kind of also Grey's Anatomy really went into the whole COVID thing.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm like, let's not can you move away? Obviously we know it's still a thing, but can you move the storyline so that I don't feel like I'm watching something in fantasy world and feeling like it's everyday life for me.
I think it's really interesting, and it is something to be said about WandaVision that you've never watched a single Marvel movie and it pulled you in like that. That's a
We
statement.
got not just me, we got Kat too. She's like,
That's dope.
She's like hooking. She's like, I don't even want to watch any of
Anything
the
else.
Avenger movies. I just want to watch WandaVision. again.
Yeah,
You just want more of that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Falcon.
So
and
they
Winter
might do
Soldier.
something. Might happen with that too. I think there has to be.
There will.
See,
It'll
happen in a
How do
movie,
you just
though.
give us 9 episodes of that and expect us to just forget about it?
Well, it's supposed to then tie into the next phase, or are we're in phase 4?
Yeah, and I'm probably not going to like that.
We're in
But
phase 4. It's gonna enter into
how
Doctor
the
Strange.
how
next
the
year.
show ended is supposed to lead into Doctor Strange.
Correct.
And I can't remember the title.
Wanda
Sometime
can
next
hold her
year.
own show.
The Multiverse of Madness, I think, is what his movie's going to be
Something like-
called.
yeah.
And I don't even know if it's confirmed that she's going to be in it. I don't know for a fact. That's just speculation.
I thought
It might be.
she was credited.
She
on
might
IMDb
be.
already.
If that's the case, then that's pretty dope. I
I'm
think
not
you're
sure.
right now that you say that. Anyway.
Iron Man. Was he an Avenger?
Yep.
I've seen Iron Man movies,
Okay. Then yeah.
but like I never watched the Avengers. So
Okay,
like,
okay.
I haven't seen any of those series yet.
So it's
like the Thor movies and them.
Disney Plus has it pretty awesome now to where you can watch them all in chronological order. If you go into like the Marvel tab on Disney Plus, yeah, she is credited
in
on
credit,
there.
and
Okay,
she's-
so that's gonna be dope.
The same guy that
She's the
plays
first one
Vision is
listed.
the voice of Iron Man's suit. I
Correct.
think, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because
So
they built it off of parts of Jarvis.
correct. You see how that happens in the same movie that she comes in the Age of Ultron, which is
Okay.
the second Avengers movie. So Disney Plus has it really laid out really nice to where it starts with Iron Man, it starts with Captain America because there's a chronological order and then there's a in order in which they were released order. So if you want to follow it like story wise, the chronological order is pretty dope because it'll just take you through and you can kind of get caught up that way because WandaVision happens after all of the movies that are on Disney Plus. Like it's like her next chapter after you'll be able to see how Vision was killed
Right.
and all of that stuff, which was a fucking awesome scene. Like the end of that whole shit, like what was it, Endgame and Infinity War,
Infinity
Thor
War,
Ragnarok,
yeah.
like towards the end of all the movies that they have, it gets so fucking good.
And they do all lead into one another.
I actually got my brother into the Marvel movies. He didn't like the Marvel movies, and I kept telling him, Thor Ragnarok, do it. And Carl, I'm telling you, because I know your musical taste, you're going to fucking lose it.
It's got one
You're
of the best
gonna
soundtracks.
fucking love it, dude.
Just like I love the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtracks.
They're great, too. The
And
Guardian, you'll
Thor
love the
Ragnarok.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Are you fucking kidding me? You're going to love it.
You're gonna love it.
Oh, dude. It's so entertaining, and it's
And
just
actually,
so good.
I always end up choosing the second Guardians movie
Yep.
over the first one. even
Why is
though-
that? Is that because of the soundtrack, do you think? Because they're comparable but different.
Yes, I guess. I
Yeah.
just think I like the story a little bit better.
Okay. It's not an origin story.
That too. I actually did think about like it's not an origin story, and probably I'd seen the first one how many times?
The only reason I would ever pick the first one over the second is because of adult Groot. I prefer adult Groot. Obviously, baby Groot is adorable. But adult
and teenage
Groot
Groot is
fucking,
very moody.
Yeah.
Like
But
whoa,
adult Groot
watch
is
the
very
language.
dope. Adult Groot is very, very dope.
All Groot says is "I am Groot."
I am Groot.
And apparently they can interpret what he's saying.
He's like when he's like a teenager.
I am Groot.
Yeah,
They're
I'm
like,
Groot. And they're like, whoa, watch your mouth. Like,
Watch
oh
the
my God.
language.
And then it's like when Thor and the Guardians of the Galaxy meet, like, because
Oh God.
all the movies cross over into each other. So, like, if you get into a character and you like Wanda and you like the Vision or whatever, you're going to enjoy
all
watching
them.
Vision be just a computer. And then all of a sudden, holy shit, he's the Vision now.
He's a
Like,
man.
that's dope as fuck. And like you get to see what he can do. It's crazy. You'll love it. I can't wait to hear about your trip down the MCU. You're gonna fucking bug.
I gotta get through the Star Wars first.
You're gonna bug. So my review, I got a new computer. And we haven't, like Mr. Steve brought up the other week, we don't review products very often. It's a lot of movies and shows and
Well,
some music sprinkled in.
we did the water pick.
We did do the water pick. You're right, we did. So wow, two
So,
products in a
two
row.
Products, yeah.
But I got a new MacBook Pro. It's a 10th generation machine. This thing was built in 2020.
Super light.
It's fucking brand new. It's basically like carrying a piece of paper around. That's how light it is.
Is that the Air?
No, this is just MacBook Pro,
13
13-inch. Yep. Let me tell you about Mac people. They don't fucking pay us, first of all. Mac does not fucking pay us. But they're the best. If you're a creative person, if you are into making videos or music or just whatever, man. It's got what you need. It just MacBook Pro. It comes with so much shit, and I've been an Apple user for years and years. Jackie, you and me got the iPhones. Like, you know, I've had a MacBook Pro. I'm replacing a MacBook Pro with a MacBook Pro, and just man, the iCloud makes everything so easy. It's like I took this machine out of the box and I signed in, and it's like, oh, you got a bunch of stuff, you know, hanging out on the cloud. Do you want to download all of it? I click yes, and 5 minutes later, I have all the programs that I had on my old computer on my new one. And it's just staggering technology. This thing has like a touch screen on the keyboard now. Like I'm sitting here, I started last week or yesterday in 5 minutes with my old computer.
Yep.
And what kind of pushed us to get this was one of my USB drives started going bad. For unknown reasons. I don't know why. All of a sudden, my external hard drive stops working on it. It just doesn't work. I record all of my videos without headphones on, which is the most stressful part of my day. Recording anything into a microphone without headphones stresses me out.
Just wear your headphones.
I don't want to do that. I want to like look like a
normal
late night TV host in my fucking thing, or as close to it as I possibly can. But so it's funny, dude. I pushed myself to do it. But anyway, I do this fucking video, and I get there and I fucking go to edit the stupid thing. No audio. I have my board plugged into the USB that is sometimes bad, and I'm already kind of stressed about it, and I fucking sit down and I almost threw my computer through the fucking fish tank. I was like, I can't deal with this shit. I just wasted a half hour of my life that I'm never going to get back doing this great video, and there's no fucking audio to it. And Jackie, the most supportive person in my life, just came into the room and was like, let's go get you another computer. Like we've been meaning to do this. Like we almost got a new computer.
I've been wanting to get him
like
a
a year
computer, but my fear is I'm going to buy the wrong thing and he can't use it or secretly hates it and acts like he likes it.
They're pretty customizable if you order it through them and build it the way you want, but they're fucking expensive if you do.
Yeah.
My butthole still gets tight when I think about how expensive mine was.
Yeah.
It's like ridiculous.
I don't even want to know because yours is like double the size of mine.
Yeah.
And like,
dude, we know what we spent. We actually went to the state of Delaware.
Dude, yeah.
I got the 2 terabyte SSD drive installed in that thing. It's
yeah.
You never have to you don't even need an iCloud with that.
No, and I'm getting a lot better at keeping it like clean too.
Wow.
And more organized.
That thing
days.
probably runs fucking smooth.
Yeah, dude, it's a beast, man. Like I got 2 monitors going. I'll have Logic going, like loaded with plugins with the internet on at the same time, and I'm just like quadruple. You know, just everything's going,
right?
And I got like the CPU is just doing nothing,
dude. We put a solid state hard drive in my old MacBook. Yep. Shout out to Anthony over at Unique Computers over there in Chester County. But like my shit was just overheating, bad. Like bad.
The fans get loud and
loud.
That's probably my biggest issue. Is if I'm like working on a song and I'm like working at a low volume. The fucking fan, and I'll be like tweaking an EQ, and then I'll figure out, I'm like, that's the fucking fan. It drives me, you know what I mean? Like, it drives me crazy when that fan kicks on because then it just, I zone out and it just becomes like a blurry part of what I'm working on sometimes. And I'm like, this fucking fan pisses me off.
It never ceases to amaze me just how advanced Apple is. I mean, I use a PC here and there at work, just for dumb shit, checking emails and whatever.
Yeah.
But like, this thing, it just does everything I need it to and more. Like I started messing with the videos after I got this thing, and this touch screen makes it so easy. I started messing with the podcast and editing and cutting and snipping and shit. This fucking little touch screen thing. It's like, oh, you want to snip right here? Just move your mouse right where you need it to be and hit this stupid button. You don't have to double click. You don't have to click nothing. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah, your slider bar is pretty cool. It
So
makes me
dope.
nervous. Like I'm not like a heavy user of that. Like I actually have another keyboard, like a Bluetooth keyboard,
Oh, okay.
because I don't want to have to like. I really try to avoid the wear and tear on the machine itself and use other devices and just kind of use the machine as like just the power.
Almost like a screen. Yeah.
just the power, you
Yeah.
know. But because I don't want to have to like, I get so nervous.
wanna
that
replace this.
Like the amount that I use it, like with recording it, especially when I'm editing, I'm just like pounding away on keys, not worrying about it. I don't want to like beat the hell out of the laptop, so I have like a separate keyboard for that.
Dude, as soon as I started typing on here,
Because you find yourself hitting like just
Yeah,
the same
dude.
key over and over again. Like I'm
That's when
hitting,
they'll wear out and you
Yeah,
can't
like-
read what's on the key anymore.
like I'm hitting like the S key a million times more than like the W key. You know,
I feel
So
like,
I'm like
I feel like I'm gonna break this mouse pad, like the trackpad
I
on
hate
here.
trackpads.
I feel like I'm gonna break it
I don't use
because
them.
they have like a new feature on here where it's like you barely have to click
It's like-
it in
it's
order
got like
for
a
it to
double
click.
click.
There's
It's
a
like
double click
yeah.
option now. And like I didn't realize that at first. I thought the double click was the click, and I'm sitting here like fucking whoa, like I gotta
It's kinda
click
like
on
a-
this
it's-
and
it's like a-
drag this shit.
Remember when you can do that with your screen on your phone?
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
kind of like the same thing. It's
Yep.
like almost like you're
Just touch it.
activating two things by pushing harder into it.
So bananas.
I think you still need to score this.
Oh, it's instant classic. 10 out of 10. It's a beautiful machine. I love it. I love it. I love it. And it's like I love it
You can
because
get 10 years out of them.
oh yeah. I mean I
Yeah,
got
his
almost
other-
10 years out
yeah.
of my out of this
I was
other
gonna
one.
say, you got about 10 out of your
Yeah. I loved it. And I loved it all the way. Like we did some work to it. We'll hopefully never have to do some work to this thing, but
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how it's possible. It's so thin. I don't know how anything happens, how
Yeah.
anybody can
Yeah.
fix this if it breaks. But I love it. Does anybody have anything else to add before we get out of here? Make sure you go check out all of our sponsors, man. You know me as CBD. Go to youknowmeascbd.com. It's promo code MBN. Get 20% off, free shipping, and a free gift. Please make sure you go check out linode.com/MBN. You get $100 free credit if it's something that works for you. This might not be for you personally, but it might help you at work. Your job might be interested in it. Somebody that you know might be into it. Please check it out. For real, they're the largest independent open cloud provider in the world.
Damn.
I'm hype about it. And they're sponsoring us for this month, and I want it to go well. So please, fucking check it out. Do it now.
Do it.
Jackie, you did a fantastic job this week.
Thank you.
Carl Pinnell, thank you so much for being on the show, man.
Thanks, man.
Dude, it's been another great episode. Everybody make sure you check out sports on Wednesday. We got tunes on Friday. Everybody make sure you go to YouTube, subscribe. We're close to our goal here. We got goals, people. We need you to subscribe. I don't even care if you like the videos, like click the like button. I hope you do, but I need you to subscribe. I need you to tell your friends to subscribe. I'm making these videos for you. I really care about it. I care about facts. I care about entertaining people. And if you know me, you know that I give my audience everything that I possibly can. So please go check it out. I think you're going to like it. That's it for this week on Might Be News. I hope everybody has a great week. Peace out, Jackie.
Bye.
Peace out, Carl.
Peace out.
All right, everybody. Have a good week. We'll see you next time.